All right, guys, we're going 100% of the way with our 80% Arms Glock 19 here. Let's have a little fun. All right, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome back. Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. So the thing is when you get into 80%, they're a lot of fun because you can get into a ton of different features and different types of feedback that a customer can give to a company, and you can really dial in a product, you know, and honestly, in a lot of ways, better than the original product in terms of the way that it was set up. You know, you guys might be familiar with guns like the Glock 19X and things like that. This particular frame from 80% Arms does give you the ability. I love the way that they did the magwell on this one, because not only can you play around with different flared magwells and things, but you could also take this from a 19 size frame up to a 17 if you want, so you can get a full grip on that if you want. And 80% are one of those kind of weird enigmas, right? They fall into like this kind of category where you've got this group of people that they love to experiment and play around with different parts and accessories, and it seems like when someone does an 80% build, they always want to go crazy and put like the slide riding optics and all the fun little gadgets and gear on it, and it's always just fun to try your hand at it, right? This is a great way to try your hand at building one, and they're a lot of fun. I love the texture on this. I love what they did up here with the trigger guard. You got some nice texture up there that's a little bit more aggressive texture than a standard Glock model. You've got a nice generous rail system here. This one is outfitted with a standard OEM Glock lower in terms of the trigger bar and all the sear components and everything, the safety. But of course, it's compatible with all your OEM and aftermarket accessories through and throughout. This one utilizes a straight flute Wolf match barrel that's in this gun. And we've got a standard polymer guide rod and a standard recoil spring. These slides they offer in a couple of different configurations. This one is a non-cut version. This one's outfitted with Ameriglow high sights, suppressor height sights. Very nice, kind of a Novak style combat sight with a very aggressive texture on the rear to help with glare and stuff like that. This one's a burnt bronze Cerakote finish. And I love all of the cuts and texture they put on there that adds a nice custom look to your pistol, which is nice. And if I didn't mention it, they do this in a cut version for a slide rider RMR type of optic as well. So those of you that want to go completely down that rabbit hole, you can. One thing of note on this 80% Arms setup here is I do love the very beefy construction of the recoil bearing surfaces in the lower frame itself. If you compare it to a standard 19, this is Chad's 19, forgive a few of the dust bunnies, this is his carry gun, but you can see the construction. Again, when you get into an 80%, you've got a lot of things related to this type of handgun that they can improve on the original article a little bit. And dare I say, when you've got a little bit more, I guess, as one homogeneous piece of metal as opposed to the way that a standard Glock frame is made, you actually get a lot more rigid bearing surface for the slide to ride in, and it makes the, you know, not only, you know, probably better reliability, but less flex in the system and more inherent strength in the system, which is really cool. Here on the rear, you can see again, there's much more beef on the slide rails there for the slide to ride in, so you get a much more rigid type of setup. Probably more like a CZ than a Glock in terms of the amount of rigidity you get in there. The construction on the P80 lower is very robust and very simple, and they're very easy to complete. Doesn't require a whole lot of effort, and they're very, very simple. All right, let's put this thing back together. It assembles and disassembles just like any other standard Glock pistol. I love the burnt bronze Cerakote. Sorry, it's been a long day. We're nearing the end of a very long day out in the sun here, but I do love that burnt bronze. Very nice finish. I'm going to shoot the gun a little bit more, and we're going to try a little bit different ammunition. Okay. All right. We'll stick to Bellon. That's what we've got here. We are going to try some steel case offerings. Let's have a little bit of fun. All right. Maybe I can shoot this thing with a halfway decent degree of accuracy. Let's see. right, this is a Glock 17 mag, so it's going to protrude out of the bottom a little bit, no problem. Not an issue with the Glocks. Those sights pick up really nice. I will say I probably prefer that type of a sighting arrangement to a standard, you know, set of just regular white dot sights on a regular Glock. And I will admit, you know, like for me, I do like the, you know, enhanced performance triggers that you see in some of the Glocks that people use aftermarket-wise. Namely, the more rigid bow. You can get aftermarket triggers that go in Glocks that have a much larger and discernible pad on the trigger. This is a standard Glock OEM trigger. So, you know, it does flex a bit. And I don't know, I've always thought that Glock triggers kind of feel like a staple gun. That's the way I kind of describe the way that it just makes me feel when I'm shooting it. And I've always struggled to get around Glock triggers, at least a standard OEM Glock trigger. I do like the reliability of Glock pistols, and they serve quite well, and it's a great option, but I feel like a trigger is a good worthy upgrade in a Glock, especially if you struggle with them like I do. Good group there, real good group. All right, we're getting into some tool ammo. This is some 115 grain steel case ammunition. And I got a little bit of the Red Army Standard from Century here we're gonna be testing too. I don't have a ton of ammunition here today to burn up, but we're gonna try at least with a couple of different types of ammo here. All right, real nice feeling gun. I like this one a lot. Nice. That 115 seems to be the weight of projectile that this gun really prefers, at least what I'm seeing. That Bellom is what we were shooting there in the intro, the other stuff, the brass case stuff, and that's 124 grain ammunition. Just having a little fun here, okay? Let's try to take out our sodas. Oh, got one hiding. Ah, I got him. Can't hide from me, boy. All right. Couple of shots down there at 35 yards. Uh-oh. Oh, we had a stoppage. Double feed. Uh-oh. I was gonna go swap mags. Wasn't quite done yet there. Not too bad. You know, I am beginning to fall in favor a good bit with some of the slide riding optics. I do like those options, especially in a chassis type of system. That's probably a different story for another day, but we're just having a little fun here with this 80%. All right. These things are very easy to work with. They're not difficult to build at all. Don't require a whole lot of expertise or anything like that. Very fun. Getting back to 80, not bad. No pun intended. Shooting 80 yards with a 80% Arms Glock. All right, a little fun here. And also I want to mention real quick before we go too much further, the rigs that I'm using right here, all right? That's our Mag Buddy there from Save Your Equipment. We already did kind of a full lineup, but I've been taking these out of the range. That just makes life a lot easier for keeping your mags organized, as you can see. And then their range bag, this thing's fantastic. We actually brought our, got some brass in there, it's okay. But we actually brought our guns out today using that. Very handy little caddy to keep your stuff organized. Not very expensive either, so just thought I'd give Savior a little quick shout out there. Their stuff is great, love it. And very value-minded too. Not a very expensive type of option to be able to keep yourself organized at the range. Okay, I think we've just about destroyed everything in front of us. If I can shoot halfway decent here. Not bad. I had some good strings going there. All right, one more mag of Tula, 115 grain, and then we're gonna try some Red Army standard. I've only got one mag of this, but just to try some different ammo here for you today. Okay, little tool ammo. All right. Red Army Standard 115. Really seems to like the 115 grain ammo quite a bit. Unfortunately, I don't have any defensive ammunition to test here today. That stuff is pretty unobtainium at the moment, so I apologize, but we're trying to give you an idea how well these things can work. We only have one little minor hiccup there. All right, let's have some fun here. Double feed. Wow, okay. Woo, she's getting hot. All right. Uh-oh. Very good group. I don't know, I may not be able to shoot a Glock that good, so this isn't a Glock. So yeah, I mean, initial impressions, I would say that this particular gun is set up really nice. I do like the aftermarket slide. I love the cuts on it. I love the straight fluted barrel, so really good accuracy out of this. And a slide rider, this thing would be really fun in like a, you know, flux chassis or something like that with a brace. Be a pretty good little option there. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I do love the modularity of the grip in terms of how you can, you know, change it from a 19 to a 17, or you can, you know, experiment with different flared mag wells and things if you're going to set up like a 3-gun pistol or something. So you do get a lot of flexibility in a setup like this. And I think that all the textures and cuts and all the places on the frame are put there with a purpose. And, you know, it definitely is an improvement over the standard Glock frame. And this is definitely a way to get into a real bougie Glock without having to spend like a ton of money, right? Because, you know, in Glocks, people like bougie, right? You know, they want to get the fancy stuff and all the fancy looking race gun, carry gun stuff. And hey, that's cool. If that's your thing, go for it. I think this is like a good working man's bougie Glock that you can get into for a very respectable rate. This is a 3-pin lower, so it's got all the reinforced pins in there, just like the later generations of Glock you would expect to see. I dig it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's always a challenge for me to get behind a Glock or any type of Glock variant, anything that Striker fired in this particular manner, and try to shoot accurately. But I feel like I did pretty good. I think if some baddie was trying to dispatch me, I think I'd definitely be able to give him a run for his money. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you love what we do and you want to support us directly, there's a lot of ways you can do so. I definitely want to say thank you to all of our Patreons for supporting us monthly. Thank you so much. Those of you who purchase man cans, we got some great merch that we put together. Merch is really the wrong idea. It's gear, like good quality gear that we use on a regular basis. We put them into these boxes and we sell them. Really great stuff that we hand select that we personally use. So if you want to check that out, go over and check it out. Also over on Ballistic Ink, we've got a ton of great t-shirts for sale, some really edgy designs I think you'll like. So those are all ways that you can support us directly if you wish to do so. Have a great day. Many more videos on the way. We'll see you soon.